and as well as our YouTube live stream, that is at Smart24 TV, on Twitter at Smart24 TV, and as well as at Facebook on Smart24 TV official right there. So catch all the latest content on business and now especially financial markets as we drive your business. We were still talking a couple of stories that are trending. And this morning, Afriland Bank has exited Uganda after its 2-year operations in Uganda. Now, Afriland First Bank started operating about 16 months after obtaining a Tier 1 license in September 2019. Now, Bank of Uganda has said that Afriland First Bank has asked to voluntarily exit Uganda just slightly over 2 years. It was granted a license in September 2019. The bank, according to details from the central bank, has not administered any credit or loans in the 16 months it has been in Uganda. This could partly explain its decision to exit, worsened by the difficult economic conditions induced by the COVID-19 pandemic. While announcing the exit yesterday, Bank of Uganda Deputy Governor Dr. Michael Atingi Ego said Afriland's decision for voluntary liquidation was an outcome of strategic business review by the shareholders, that is the Afriland Group. Now, Bank of Uganda, he said, had on Wednesday, 25th of May, approved the request from Afriland to apply to the High Court for voluntary liquidation. However, he added, Afriland was a solvent financial institution, which therefore means that all depositors and other verified creditors shall be paid in full without question. Afriland, according to Bank of Uganda, has a market share of about 0.08% and total deposits of about 958 million Uganda shillings. The Uganda banking space is highly saturated, which presents stiff competition and a requirement for huge investments. Afriland's exit brings the number of commercial banks operating in Uganda to just 25 from the 26 figure. Dr. Tumuwene Tuinamanzi, the Bank of Uganda Executive Director of Supervision, yesterday said that whereas Afriland had managed to mobilize some deposits in the 16 months of its operation, it had not administered any credit to Ugandans or any other people. Afriland, Dr. Tumuwene further indicated, had by December 2021 accumulated an asset base of over 31.4 billion Uganda shillings and liability of over 11.13 billion Uganda shillings and shareholder equity of about 8.2 billion Uganda shillings, while other liabilities stood at 2 billion Uganda shillings. Asked how the exit would impact the financial market, Dr. Tuinamanzi said there will be minimal or no impact since the bank had a very small market share, noting that Afriland had started operating in Uganda at a time when the economy was disrupted due to COVID-19, which could have impacted its bottom line. Afriland formally started its operations on the 1st of December 2020, about 3 months before the economy was locked down due to COVID-19. The economy was subsequently closed again in June 2021 before it was fully reopened in 2022, which was a double-edged sword for Afriland First Bank. Now, the economy was subsequently, the Dr. Tuinamanzi also noted that whereas Afriland will close in Uganda, its operations in other countries will not cease, and Afriland has its operations in Cameroon, DR Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Liberia, South Sudan, Sao Tome, Principe, and Zambia. That is a story right there for Afriland Bank. And if you have shares, or if you have credit in Afriland Bank, Uganda, you better look out for your bank managers, and because the bank is closing and exiting the country, so you may need to know what is going to happen to your money. But as well, the bank has not registered any credit, meaning it has not given out any loans to anyone in Uganda due to the turbulent times at which the bank opened in Uganda. Remember, the banking sector is very competitive in Uganda, with over 25 banks now after Afriland leaving, from now 26 to 25 banks. There is a lot of competition. There's a very stiff competition in the banking sector, with the big boys like Stanbic, KCB, DTB, Centenary, racing in terms of investment. And this way, it's a very volatile, turbulent market right there for Uganda. So Afriland has exited, and if you have anything in Afriland, better run before it's too late. Moving on, in another story that is trending on the financial market scene, the Nation Media Group has partnered with venture capital VC firm known as Antler East Africa to tap its expertise in identifying and in nurturing innovative digital content. This part of the Nairobi Securities Exchange listed firm's multi-pronged growth strategies. And NMG, that is Nation Media Group, in September 2020 launched its flagship digital brand, that is www.nation.africa, to tap into the changing consumer habits by re-engineering itself to accelerate its digital transformation. The company continued to digitize, and the digitization last year by launching a premium section of the website where users pay a daily, weekly, monthly, or annual fee to access the Nation Media Group's high-quality exclusive content. The Nation Media Group Chief Technology and Innovation Officer Oliver August said the partnership will help the company access a great pool of talented individuals working on innovative ideas in the digital content space. The idea to work with Antler came out of the strategic realization that the future of Nation Media Group will be together with other partners. That was Mr. August right there. He also adds that we want to find a offered by digital technology that we can offer to our customers. For that, we need people who understand how to build completely new digital content or products from scratch, and that is Antler's strength. Antler invests in startups, supporting the firms with business model validations, and are providing a global platform for scaling their operations. Antler has invested in more than 400 companies in over 30 industries, including artificial intelligence, AI, robotics, drones, and fintech. It is these innovators that NMG is aiming to utilize to drive the generation of new and unique digital content and products for its vast audience. The NMG Head of Strategy and Innovation, Max Okeyo, and said Antler will help the company to access the innovators coming up with products that will address the gaps in the market that the media organization would like to plug into. That is a story right there. As well, coming in from Nation Media Group, that are partnering with a venture capital firm known as Antler to bring on board innovators in technology and the like onto the Nation Media Group company. Remember, Nation Media Group is a listed company, media company in Kenya, but as well it is cross-listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange with subsidiaries that are operating in Uganda, as you know, Nation Media and so on. So they are trying to venture into these new fields of technology. As you know, the world is moving fast in the technology space, and Nation Media Group would not want to be left behind on that note. That is one of the stories as well trending right there on the financial market scene. And you should follow up if at all you are a shareholder in Nation Media Group. One other thing that we need to keep our eyes on, that according to the African Business Magazine, Safaricom has led the rankings of East African companies amongst the top 20 companies. Now, for over the past 16 years, the African magazine, African Business, has been running an annual ranking of Africa's top 250 companies, taking the top listed companies from national and regional stock exchanges across the continent, that is Africa. In this, we are looking at the top 20 companies of East Africa in 2021. East Africa is seen as a trailblazer for the regional integration of capital markets, labor, trade, and investment. Kenya and its neighbors offer good climates of business and education, hardworking and entrepreneurial labor forces and management. But although Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda all feature strongly for economic growth prospects, the regional impact on the top 250 companies is felt mostly in Kenya. So the top company that was registered by the African Business Magazine is actually Safaricom. The East Africa is the smallest of the four regions, contributing 19 companies as of last year and accounting for over 3.5% of the total market capitalization. Nairobi Securities Exchange is most of the biggest companies have been listed on the exchange, and this Nairobi Stock Exchange is where the shilling slipped back against the US dollar, and the Nairobi Stock Exchange All-Share Index backed the positive trend of all the other exchanges by falling over 6% over the year to 31st March 2022. An analysis of investment bank EFG Hermes released in March showed that investors on the Nairobi Stock Exchange had the lowest returns above the government securities of 15 companies, comparable frontier and emerging markets, which it attributed in part to the market's long bear run. Kenya's Safaricom is the region's highest ranking company, but falls from last year's 9th position to the 12th position, with the market capitalization down from 13.3 billion US dollars to 11.9 billion US dollars this past financial year ended March 31st, 2021. Its huge opportunities in neighboring Ethiopia will take some time to realize, given the continuation of that country's disastrous civil conflict. The conflict is likely to continue weighing on the prospects of Ethiopia's companies, which until recently were seen as the gatekeepers of the hugely exciting domestic market. Dynamic Bank Equity Group Holdings continues to expand, announcing a move into life assurance in January and taking advantage of big opportunities in Congo and elsewhere. In December, the merger of Equity Bank Congo and Banque Commerciale du Congo was approved, and Equity Group is up from the 92nd position of the top 250 countries up to the 84th position in this last year's financial rankings, with a 26% boost in the market capitalization to 1.7 billion US dollars. MTN Uganda listing doubles size of the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange contributes Tanzania breweries, which is down from the 90th position to the 98th position, but ahead of Kenya's best, East African breweries at 110 position. Vodacom Tanzania and Tanzania Cigarette Company are coming among its largest listings. The Uganda Securities Exchange, our very own, has more than doubled in size, and in December with the listing of the MTN Uganda initial public offer earlier in 2021, which raised about 150 million US dollars for each South African parent. MTN Uganda is an impressive new addition to the top 250 companies at exactly the position of 105. That is the 105th position in the top 250 companies with a market capitalization of over 1.1 billion US dollars. This figure covers all the shares listed on the Uganda Security Exchange, including those owned by the parent. So MTN Uganda has a total market capitalization of 1.1 billion US dollars, with our shares here in MTN Uganda added to the shares of MTN South Africa, which is the parent of MTN Uganda. The initial public offer was undersubscribed, meaning that MTN Group is still looking for further share sales, so it has not yet had as much shares as it would wish. And today in the annual general meeting, we hope some of these issues and more will be addressed, especially in terms of increasing their share capital and increasing the number of shareholders and stabilizing, seeing that their share price stabilizes. As you can see, MTN Uganda has had a couple of changes in share price, starting at the initial public offer with 200 Uganda shillings per share, but now dwindling down to about 188 this morning, as we saw, and 185 last week. So MTN Uganda, we are looking at it as a company that is prospecting and is giving us hope for the future on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, most of the region's large companies are banks, including Tanzania's CRDB Bank, which entered the ranking last year at exactly position 250 and has seen a 67% increase in market capitalization to over 433 million US dollars to now the position of 167th right there. So according to the countries that are listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange and also on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, these are some of the rankings. Safaricom comes number 1 in terms of market capitalization, and on the rankings of the top 250 companies, Safaricom comes 12th. That is our position right there on the top 250 companies, according to African Business Magazine. And then Equity Group Holdings, that is Equity Bank and all these other companies under Equity Group Holdings, they come at 2nd position in the region and 84th on the continent. In terms of market capitalization. Equity Group Holdings is also a cross-listed company from Kenya, but it's also listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Tanzania Breweries comes at the 3rd position, and it comes at the 98th position on the African ranking of the top 250 companies. Then KCB Group comes at the 4th position and the 102nd position in the rankings on the African continent right there. It is followed by MTN Uganda at the 5th position. MTN comes number 5 on the regional ranking and 105th on the on the African market rankings in terms of capitalization. East African Breweries comes 6th, and it comes 6th on the regional ranking and 110th on the African market ranking in terms of market capitalization. Then Vodacom Tanzania comes 7th on the regional ranking, and it comes 139th on the continental rankings. It is followed by Tanzania Cigarette Company and Cooperative Bank of Kenya, and so on and so on. You can find these lists on the African Business Magazine platform, or you can buy yourself the African Business Magazine, and you see all the rankings. Other couple of, I can pick out a few for our sake here in Uganda. We have the Standard Chartered Bank, that is Kenya, coming in the 12th position. We also have British American Tobacco, Kenya, coming in the 14th position. NCBA Group, Kenya, coming in the 15th position. And our very own Stanbic Bank, Uganda, coming in the 16th position, but on the 215th position in terms of the market right there on the continent. Then we have BK Group coming in the 20th position. BK Group is a listed company on the Rwanda Stock Exchange, and it's not ranked in the top 250 African companies, but comes 20th in the companies that are listed on the East African stock exchanges. Those were some of your updates coming in. We shall be giving you more information. Remember, here as Financial Markets, we focus on you, our viewer, getting started with your investment journey. That is our bottom line goal. That is our focus and our main objective, to see that we give you information on the financial markets that will help you save. Financial markets can be capital markets or they can be money markets. The only difference is that the capital markets are long term, and then the money markets are short term. In other words, the returns come earlier. But as well, capital markets include the equity market, which equity market is the stock market, which we talk about here almost every other day, where we say we have companies that are listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange. These companies offer shares. They offer shares to the public for the very first time, and that is for a given period of time during the initial public offer. And then later, after people have bought shares, later on we can actually trade shares on the secondary market, where individuals who have already accessed shares in the company can now trade their shares to the public, and that way they can earn a profit by selling at a higher price. This is what we are all about on this program, and we'll be giving you all the information and the necessary guidelines with the experts' advice on your investment. Remember, you don't have to save that money in that little box. You can use that money to get you some more money. We are going to go into a short break. We'll return with more on financial markets. Don't go anywhere.